Well, we're making another list based on something we've already done. Isn't that a surprise? But today, my children, my sweaty children, there is a twist. For you see, the entries on this list aren't just overpowered, they're overpowered items that you chose. As I've gone through the comments and cherry-picked my favourites from the last video to give life to this Frankenstein's monster-like terror. So thank you very much, but you're also very welcome. With this in mind, I'm Jules from WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 more overpowered items that broke video games, Commenter Edition. Number 8. ARDENT CENSER, League of Legends. Okay, so hands up, I don't play League of Legends, so I wasn't aware just how broken the ARDENT CENSER was. Luckily, top-tier commenter and assault to my western tongue Bagshine Zalangye was on the case. After looking into it further, it seems that developers Riot were looking to increase the item's usage in play, so kept on adding buffs to it. This not only resulted in the item getting crazy components like being able to drain health, but soon became so stacked with passive boosts that your attack speed and damage were insane. And it didn't just affect you either, but your whole team. It's also really hard to fight against, seeing as the devs don't seem to be nerfing it anytime soon. But it's enough to make me not even want to try the game through fear of being decimated. Also, the fan base does seem to be a little, testy, shall we say. Number 7. Pre-patch AKIMBO 1887s, Modern Warfare 2. I goddamn hated these guns back in the day. I was a massive fan of Modern Warfare 2 with my mates at university, and it would be an unwritten rule that if you carried these bad boys in AKIMBO form or not, then you were a grade A. Now, true, they were patched to be much more manageable, but my god, on release these were like bringing a tub of lube to a horny biker love session because the tools you've got won't prevent you from being f***ed. It was the sheer range of these shotguns coupled with their accuracy that would just lay you out in mad quick fashion. You had to be skilled enough to use them properly, but Jesus was it rotten to be taken out by them from across the bloody map. As user Kirpio Seppi states, pre-patch AKIMBO 1887. Enough said in that sentence. Too right, mate. Number 6. FORTIFY Restoration and Enchantment Potions, Skyrim. Archie Rival 1 wrote to me saying that they couldn't believe I'd forgotten the FORTIFY Restoration and Enchantment Potions from Skyrim, to which I thought, well, I've not forgotten about them, I just didn't know that they were a thing. It turns out that they were a thing. Oh my, was it a thing. Through some lovely exploits, these witchy-bitchy brews would allow you access to all manner of insanity and game-breaking, because you could enter a loop in which you'd enchant an item with Fortify Enchantment, use that buff to make a higher-level Fortify of potions, then use them to enchant the item with a bigger buff, and so on and so on. This would result in ludicrous items with damage rates in the thousands. And while it might be the hammers and swords and bows that are the weapons obliterating monsters in Skyrim, it was these simple potions which started it all. Number 5. The R8, CSGO. The Desert Eagle will forever be synonymous with Counter-Strike, kill streaks, and screaming at the screen in anger as you're ripped apart by its power time and time again. However, Valve, in a bizarre twist, seemed to think that this hand cannon wasn't nearly powerful enough and decided to add this, the R8, into CSGO, to the dismay of many and the utter glee to those with keyboard and mouse welded to their hands. This did more damage, was more accurate, and was only slightly slower on the reload than the Deagle, so what Valve had essentially created was anarchy in portable form. The servers were awash with blood upon its addition to the game as the R8 went on a rampage. Luckily, it was slowly balanced and even taken out of competitive multiplayer, but only for like a month before it got popped back in, yet in its time, everyone feared it. It was like Valve just threw this pocket cannon into the mix just so it could laugh at those not having a GR8 time. Puns, I've got them, and thanks to Jaspin D for the spot on this one. Number 4. A lot of guns, Borderlands 2. The end game for Borderlands 2 pretty much turned into Bullet Sponge the musical, what with all the dancing around and firing off hot lead like it was going out of style. Yet, thanks to there being so many guns and so many ways of buffing your characters plus the mutations of the weapons and the shields, there was always going to be many ways of exploiting the system. Luckily, Gaming Turkey not only raised this issue in our previous video, but also gave a list of some of their favourites. Thank you very much. Of the selection, my favourite has to be the dual stacking fibbers. On their own, they have a plus 800% critical bonus chance, but when stacked and with some other trickery, this can be raised to plus 2,400% and affect any gun you use. That is mental, and much like Borderlands 2 itself, I f***ing love it. Number 3, GJALLARHORN, Destiny. Oh, for f***'s sake, how do you even pronounce this? GJALLARHORN, GJALLARHORN, Yallarhorn? Well, all I know is that user Johnny Crane thinks that it's overpowered and broke Destiny 1, and I tend to agree with him. Get a party all using this beast and you're looking at bosses going down quicker than I can make a your mum joke, which I've been told not to do by doctors, but I do it anyway. F*** my health. What started as a developer mistake soon became one of the most popular means for f***ing shit up in Destiny, as the Jellyhorn annihilated players and bosses alike. Over time, as with many on this list, it was nerfed to bring it back into line, but as another comment on our video reads, it's not the GJALLARHORN that's overpowered, it's that the rest are underpowered. Wow, man, like, my mind, you just like totally blew it up with the jammer hammer because this thing is f***ing fiery tits! Number 2, the Magnum, Halo 1. User BD1 reminds us all of a simpler and much more headshotty time with his comment that Halo 1's Magnum was ridiculously overpowered. It was effectively a 12-round sniper rifle, and while it was amazing fun to use in the single player, having that amount of power to hand with such a high rate of fire in multiplayer matches was friend-killingly infuriating. The Magnum coupled with a sniper rifle combo was the loadout of choice for the Halo Elite, and my god did it sting to be taken down at any range so very quickly. It got so bad that Bungie themselves referenced how utterly powerful it was in the original and made such a big deal of its return in Halo Anniversary. Glorious, overpowered, absolutely brilliant. And number 1, the Frying Pan, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Now, I can't read this person's name out because it's got a less than PC slur in the name, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Edge. Now, Mr. Edge, being the cutting wit that he is, took enough time out of his anime marathon to comment on our video, and unlike his diet of 5 Cokes and a pot noodle all mixed into a bucket, this was actually pretty good. The Frying Pan, a robust cooking tool, a comical weapon from cartoons of times gone by, and apparently, according to Rich in the office, is able to deflect a car in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yeah, that's right, this frying pan can not only be used for twatting people as per usual melee weapons, but also deflects bullets and other things, making for a small but mobile piece of cover. It's never a bad time to have this item, and you'll be cooking up a storm of salt when it saves you time and time again. Thank you, you glorious piece of iron. And that's our list. Let us know what you thought of, well, your thoughts. Do you want to see more of these? Well, let me know here or on Twitter. Then swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.